Night before the big garden tour, honey. What do you think?
I think it's freaking hot.
I think we should film you running through that sprinkler. What do you think?
I'm running nowhere but to bed. Dude, I'm exhausted, man.
Yeah, but
sweating and disgusting. And this is like, I think I have the worst luck timing events. Like our wedding, it was like, what, monsoon. It was like the worst storm in history. Flooded everything. Couldn't even get our kids.
Isn't it ironic?
I mean, honestly, it's just crazy, the weather pattern this week. It's like the hottest week of the year. And it's not just hot. Like 90s are okay, but 90s and humid, where the heat index is between 95 and 98, it's rough. It's rough to be like energetic. And I mean, we had a first tour today and it went good. You know, got a lot of good activity. Tomorrow there's going to be like 5 times the number of people, and I just hope I have enough energy and I'm not going in the house to hide.
I think you will, because you know what? Everybody asks questions and they're...
Yeah, actually, I should put together a sheet of the top, because I'm pretty sure I had 17 people ask me the same question today. So I know like the top questions that people are going to ask me, so I should just hand out a sheet.
Was one of them, what type of deodorant don't you wear?
Oh, you know what? Probably. That could have made the list.
Because I know I was smelling like vinegar. Ooh. It was nasty. I was sweating so bad because I did a lot of work around here too.
You did. You actually helped me get I mean, there's a few things left to do, but for the most part, I have the sprinkler running on my vegetable garden and that dahlia garden, because the dahlia garden was a total flop this year, but I sprinkled some annual seeds in there. I don't know if they're going to bloom by the time fall comes, but you know what? I'm tired of looking at plants that don't do anything. It's just horrible. But anyway, everything honestly, it's not peak bloom. My daylilies kind of went off today, so that usually means there's going to be like this little lull before the other buds open up and do something. So my Spider-Man's nemesis had 8 blooms open today. That's never happened. And I'm like, why can't we have that tomorrow? So, I mean, people got a good show today, but, you know, when you have the majority of people coming tomorrow, you kind of want like everything to be timed perfect, and you'll never do it. But, you know, you'll get to see color. There's definitely color.
So what do you think? Are you up for a quick tour? Because it almost looks full bloom, honey.
It is.
And this place will never look this good again, because I'm done. This is it.
We're done for the season.
Yes.
Take one last gander, because it's all going to pot after this.
Pretty much. I'm done. But I love the color.
Yeah, butterflies. I hope to God that the butterflies stick around, because they've been here for a while. And I hope we get one more good day out of them, because they're just, there's just so many. They're beautiful. There's monarchs with tons of tiger swallowtails. The fritillaries are still out. I found baby black swallowtails on the dill today. I found 7 monarch eggs. I actually have someone coming to help me harvest them and put them in a butterfly house so they don't get eaten, because as we all know, there's a little bit of heightened awareness on the monarch situation. So I'm hoping that
we're raising monarchs now.
They not in the US, but internationally they have issued like a serious, they put them on the red list, so they're endangered now, which is not, we've been floating with this thing, right? Like, I mean, flirting with like, is there a problem? Is there not a problem? Then we hear they're all coming back and we're doing great things, and then you hear, oh, they're back on the endangered list, and it's like, they're a migratory butterfly, so we're not, like one person is not going to fix this problem. We all need to like come together and stop using pesticides and stop, killing off bugs. Bugs belong in gardens. Good bugs, bad bugs. It just, today there was a lot of people asking me about organic pesticides. I get there are some pesticides like approved for organic gardening. I will tell you, it's going to kill off the good and the bad bugs. You can say it's for organic gardening, but it's still toxic to good bugs, and you need them. If you have a healthy balance of bugs in your garden, you have an awesome garden. If you stand here, I know it's hard to tell on camera, but if you were to sit here and just look at even one plant and what gets visited, these are not pretty. These are not super pretty. These are eaten by things. Look at this. I could be totally unhappy and miserable and pouting, but you know what? I have bugs. I have lots of bugs, and you want lots of bugs. If you use pesticides on your garden because you want pretty flowers, you are doing a total disservice to everything living, because it's just, you're drawing them in with flowers. Flowers are pretty, so they get pollinated. They help bee populations. They help wasps. They help butterflies. There's a monarch right there. Could you imagine if those aren't around anymore? Like, I would be heartbroken. It took me a long time to get them to revisit every year. We had none when I first started gardening, and now every year the populations are getting bigger, so they're like learning that yes, this is a fun place to come, and we have sustenance and we have host plants, and you have to accept the good with the bad. It's just how it is. You can talk to me till you're blue in the face about, oh, these bugs are eating my plants. That's what they do. But you just have to learn when, like, the proper time to manage your bug population. So if you have red lily beetles, you know that in April you go out and you start looking for the bugs and you start squashing the eggs and taking them off. That will help you up until this point when you have to go back out and pick the beetles that you missed, so that they don't go in and lay eggs in the ground and blah, blah, blah. So there's like, there is a timing situation to helping manage the the bad bugs, the ones we consider bad bugs. But listen, even aphids. So someone had mentioned how they can't stand aphids on their heliopsis, or they get aphids all over their hollyhocks and whatsoever. All different plants get aphids. That was loaded with aphids. The bleeding hearts heliopsis was loaded with aphids. I went in, I took some off with my hand, I squished them. You kind of just run your hand right up the stem. I've showed that in other videos, and it's really nasty and whatever. It doesn't hurt us. But I left some. And I also left some, and if you come to the garden tour, you can come inspect. I left some on that patch because ladybugs are beneficial in the garden, and that's their food. So aphids are not going to kill your plant. They look terrible, and you might have an infestation of them on one plant, and you can clean that up a little, but you also leave them for food for other bugs. Ecosystems need a balance, and if you spray pesticides or use pesticides, you kill off a certain population of bugs, and then you have an imbalance. Then you're going to start to see all those nasty bugs are going to start taking over. The ones that you don't want to live, they're going to start taking over because they're the tough ones. They're the ones that multiply the most quickly. They're the ones that you don't want to come back, but they're the hardiest ones. So you're going to kill off all the like feeble ones that you want to see, trying to manage the big ones that you don't want to see. So I don't know. I have some strong opinions about bug management and pesticides. I have thousands of bugs. And you know what? I'm on a garden tour tomorrow. So obviously you can coexist with bugs. They're not pretty. You're gonna see a tree rose back by the patio that's totally annihilated by worms. Nothing I can do about it. I accept that, and it's still there.
I bet the spider I had to step on last night wishes you were this understanding.
What spider?
The spider you made me step on. Every time you see a bug in the house, it's like, you need to kill that thing.
Oh no, I want it outside.
Yeah?
The only thing I've ever had you kill was that spongy moth that was on the ceiling, and I said kill it. I don't want that outside. I don't care. As long as you are going to take it outside, that's fine.
Really? So you didn't make me step on a spider?
I don't remember you stepping on a spider. Are you sure that was me? Could have been Emma.
Well,
pretty bossy.
Could have been a nightmare too.
Could have been. I don't recall that.
I do get post-traumatic stress disorder after you kill all these Japanese beetles, you know.
Oh, those I don't care about. Oh, I can't. This will be a video where I don't grab any beetles, so I can make the one viewer who's so disgusted that I have to pull a beetle off my plant. You know what? That's pest management, and I'm doing a healthy service to my garden. So.
I'm gonna insert shots of you killing Japanese beetles while you're talking so nice about leave the bugs alone.
Well, that's okay. I'll get another comment because we don't need your comments in the videos either.
Of course.
But you know what?
I'm the biggest bug in your videos.
You are. You are. I can't squash you though because I need you.
I love bugging you, and you know what?
This was a pretty popular plant.
You don't
today.
spray pesticides at me either.
No, this was pretty good.
What is that?
That's a fully double cone flower. It's starting to get a little top heavy, but that is lovely lolly.
So did you plan these colors like this?
No.
That is great.
It's not a plan at all. That is, I bought it, I'm sticking it here, and then I have to figure out like level wise, and it all works.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Are you gonna leave it alone for once or no?
Do you know like Festivus? You see how it's very tall? Like see how tall the scapes are? When that goes, I kind of want to have this back by the Golden Jubilee hyssop. I may move Festivus for the first time ever. I may put it back behind the rock because this is kind of lower. And then it hides the rock, and then it kind of hides this back corner, like when all the blooms are out. But then once the blooms are done and I cut the stalks back, it's back to the normal level. So I'm not sure. I have a little like, do I do it? Do I don't do it?
Now, do you look at pictures when you're doing it? Because normally you have to do this when the season's over, right? Or
oh no, these are notes for fall. I wouldn't do while it's in bloom. This is for later on. You know, I make mental notes all year long. That's one thing that did bother me last year a little bit. I don't know. I just feel like it's so tall when it blooms that it should be back a little farther, but then it's going to be like right next to Ruby Spider, and the two of them, I don't know if I want them next to each other. I don't know. I have to rework this a little bit. But honestly, I could just leave it alone. I don't care. It's fine. It's perfect.
so is there anything you're extraordinarily happy with in the summer garden here, the full sun?
I'm happy with all of it.
You are?
I'm happy with all of it. I actually am happy with the way it turned out. I'm not happy. What's the matter? I'm
just shocked.
Why?
That you're happy with everything.
I mean, there are plenty of problems this year. I don't want to go there though. I'm grateful for the way it looks given all the problems. How about that? Like well, if I had any I don't know. If you asked me how the year was going to shape up based on all the pests that we've been through and all the things that hit us this year, I was a little nervous about committing to the tour. So given what we've had and what we're experiencing, we have amazing color, lots of eaten things, but that's normal. I expect that. And I'm happy with the way that it's shaping up. Yes, for sure.
Well, good. Let's go check something else out.
I know. I've been yapping over here. I don't know. What else do you want to see? You want to see the cottage garden?
Sure.
All right, let's go over there.
All righty.
So I was gonna do the cottage garden, but I think we need to show Lily Lane is starting to beef up. Look at this. Can everybody see that from that far away? I think so.
Probably not.
Look at, and it's actually got like buds coming here and here and here. So that's like 3-way branching already. Maybe 4-way. Maybe 4. Oh, look at this. So that's another one. That's 2 scapes. I know we're up to 4. So where are the other ones? Oh, look. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no. Maybe that's the one I know. What is this one? Oh, yes. This is Cherry Ripples. The names. My people got a kick out of the names. I kind of got a kick out of the names, too. That's Cherry Ripples times Clown Pants. And then Steve's Lost His Pants times Clown Pants. Right there, we have Escape.
What?
I know.
Steve lost his pants? What are you talking about?
Steve is the name of the guy who owns Clown Pants, and somebody made I don't know if he made, yeah, I think he made I don't know if he did it, but there was they crossed Clown Pants with something else, and it also created stripes. So the name of that kid from Clown Pants is called Steve's Lost His Pants.
Well, good. I can't wait for us to start naming lilies.
I might use you for your creativity on that.
Oh, trust me, I'm going to have some creative names for you.
So check these out. Like right now I'm thrilled because the Rose of Sharon started blooming. I got a lot of comments on that today. Very pretty. It's kind of worn out, man. The heat's killing the vibrancy on all the colors though. I'm a little bummed about that. I also have 0 berries on my viburnum, but that's okay. I have to find out what I need to get that working with berry. I think I need another viburnum so that they cross-pollinate, because that never produces berries, but it blooms crazy like a hydrangea. But yeah, so everything, it's okay. I have some holes in here. So like I have a big spot here. I mean, for me, that's a big spot. I have some daylilies, but I have a whole bunch of tags hanging off because I'm making crosses. But yeah, so I have a few holes. This is a little taller than I'd like. It was not that tall last year, and that was its 2nd year here. So all of a sudden I put it here because it was short, and now it's tall. So there are certain things you cannot control. So I think I want that pushed back a little bit, and then I'll do some more low flowers in there. But you know, that's just one, actually that's 2, 3 plants in a clump that I'm just gonna like lift and move back by the asters. So that's another mental note that I'm making. And then I'll probably add something in here that's a little more, you know, a little more beefy. I need something beefy in there. So
I could stand in there and pretend to be a statue or
don't step
something.
on my plants. You're backing up too much.
Yeah, well, I know where we are.
So yeah, so that's it. I don't know. We have some daylily buds that are gonna go off hopefully tomorrow, but it doesn't look like they're ready. So it's kind of tough. I kind of wish I could time these like on like a remote, right? Everybody open now. Smile.
So you think, and you said that the sun is actually too much sun and heat is bad for these
You know
flowers.
what happens? It fades the flower. So for daylilies especially, like Tears of a Clown. Remember the picture I posted? It's super vibrant. Look at it after a day of 90 degrees and humidity. High humidity. It's faded.
Looks like the clown needs some makeup.
It's still pretty, but it's faded. And there a lot of times with the echinacea too, you'll get, you know, they fade to this color very quickly instead of keeping this vibrant orange. So, you know, that's like tomato soup, and I want this. I want hot salsa
So
red.
that the one that looks brighter is,
That's newer. It just came out.
look, the bee was like, hey,
Yeah, I know.
I'll take that.
Although if I do, I could cut these off and clean them up a little bit. I don't know. I may do that. Like some of these are starting to really fade out and be done.
And these are cone flowers for anybody that doesn't know, right?
Yes.
Now, do cone flowers have different names? Like, or do they just show photos of the cone flower and then you know what color it's going to be?
Huh?
Do cone flowers, like this purple cone flower, what's the name of it?
Picabella.
Oh, so they have names.
Yeah.
All right. I knew that. I was just asking for people that didn't know that.
Well, yeah, each one. Honestly, there's a lot of very similar colors. There's a lot of hot colors. Like there's this one with the bright orange that's Kismet Intense Orange. And then there's another one over here that's called Sangarita, Sombrero Sangarita. See back there? And it's very similar in color. They're just like bright colors, but they have a different habit. If you notice the other Kismet one, it's much taller. Like this is Kismet, so compare the two. When it first comes out, they're very similar in color, but then this kind of fades to that tomato soup color.
I'm really digging the color of the black-eyed Susans over there.
Yep, those are, you know what? And that, look at how nice of a clump that is this year. Last year, I had way too much of that. It went all the way into where the Bleeding Hearts Heliopsis is. That was new. I added the Bleeding Hearts Heliopsis because it was just so much blah. But now I have a nice, neat clump. And I usually have black-eyed Susans behind the Heliopsis. Your dog trampled them, and so now they are a foot tall.
Don't start making fun of my dog, or we're going to be
I'm just
planting black-eyed Shelleys.
I'm just making a comment about why I don't see black-eyed Susans back there. But then I do have some black-eyed Susans over there. So, and this year, because I love the yellow.
It's amazing how your dog never does any wrong.
No, not true.
So Zoe never runs through the garden.
Actually, she doesn't. She may run through that rock garden if she's chasing your dog, but no. But anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, yellow, St. John's wort. So this didn't really bloom last year. That was a new shrub put in the year before last, and it didn't really bloom. It didn't do anything. Now it's starting to put on some stuff. Like, I can't wait till that's like fully open and ready to like pop yellow. It needs yellow over here. There's a lot of reds and oranges, and you know, I got the whole rainbow theme going on.
I like this St. Mary's mole. Did you ever plant one of those? Well,
I'm too tired.
It's not as attractive as John's warts, but Mary's moles look pretty good.
I was just waiting. I knew there was something else coming to that.
Well, sometimes you got to think.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
You know?
Oh, want to see what else your dog did for me?
Sure.
Aw. Hi, Zoe.
Bum.
You know what? She's been doing that a lot in the heat.
Well, I would too if I was wearing a fur coat.
Yeah. So check this out. So he destroyed all my black-eyed Susans, but I have a tomato plant. It's growing upside down tomatoes.
What are
I
we?
assume that went through his digestive tract.
What are we gonna call those tomatoes?
I'm not eating them, but anyway, so this is a mess back here, but thank God you view the garden from the other side. So
you're trying to say Jax did all this damage over here?
Yeah, I had to stake a lot of this poor stuff.
What's he doing in there?
Crapping.
He's planting tomatoes.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's fertilizing.
Not fertilizing, just destroying.
Zoe, I know the truth, Zoe. I know.
You know, the purple liatris.
I'm trying to compare sizes. Look at the size of Zoe and look at the size of that hole right there.
What hole?
The hole that you're blaming Jax for.
Oh, I know it was him. I saw him. Every time Jax, he comes out. He's like the little chipmunk that's eating my tomato in there. Every time I yell at him, he comes out, pops his head out, and then he goes.
Do we have a groundhog here? Because I almost fell in a hole the other day.
I don't know. We do have a chipmunk that's drilling holes in my garden, though, and I've never had that before. So he's starting to get on my nerves. Anyway, do you want to see other parts of the garden?
Yeah, I definitely.
I don't know what happened to that conversation.
Notice the stone wall over there, honey.
Yes, go ahead, go film it. Look at this. That's beauty. And of course, there's not one ready for tomorrow, so you'll have to view this virtually. Get him, Zoe. Get him.
Wow, that's pretty wild. What is that called?
That's called Bodine.
Have you messed with Bodine?
I have.
Huh?
Bodine got around this year.
Did he?
Yep. Yes, he did. Oh, what? Oh, get him, Zoe. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of slacking. Holy cow, big weeds.
Now, why are these daisies so tall?
They're supposed to be. They really should be corralled a little bit. We have a few things to tidy up tonight, I think.
Yes, I'm sure we do.
But you know what? The hostas look all right for being high heat and slathered in sun and humidity all day.
And aren't you going to go Vanna White the stone wall or not?
Go ahead.
No, Vanna White it.
Oh, let me
Thank
show
you.
No music?
Dun,
No
dun, dun,
no
dun.
fancy dress?
Dun,
Yes,
dun,
look at
dun,
that.
dun.
Now we can actually see the stone wall. And then my husband did a lot of work at night in the dark to clear that out. And I love that. That's a nice clean look.
It actually only took me a couple hours. Ferns pull out really easy.
You're supposed to transplant them. Oh my God, I did it. I
What?
picked one. I picked a beetle.
Yes.
Said I wouldn't do it
You
all
couldn't
video.
help yourself.
You know what? It's just natural. That's
So
just how it
who
goes.
crapped to put corn back here?
I did that.
Oh, really?
Well, I didn't. I planted them. And you know what it is? It's red popcorn. No, it's not. It's red sweet corn. It's the first time I've ever seen red sweet corn, like summer sweet corn, with red kernels. Look at the tassels.
Is it edible?
Yes.
Why is it red?
I don't know, but it's fun. I don't know if it stays red. I don't know if it stays red.
So is it
When you
okay
cook
to
it.
plant vegetables among the flowers and
Why
stuff?
not? Why not? That's all I do in my vegetable garden. That's it. You want to see some amazing tomatoes? I love this. This trellis is amazing for growing tomatoes. Or maybe this variety is amazing. Look at this. And you have to probably get in here, but I'll kill you if you...
Oh boy, this is going to be difficult. Do I have to try to
Look
maneuver
at this.
around here?
Look at the trusses of tomatoes. Like, I'm not even kidding. Look at this. How many tomatoes are on this? Can you see it?
Wow.
There's two like hands coming off this. Look at the amount of tomatoes. Like, how many is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 24 tomatoes on one truss. And then look at there's just truss everywhere.
What are they
Down
called?
here, look at this black strawberry.
Oh, those look like the type that Jack planted.
Yeah, well, look at, I mean, there's just tons. And each one has this V of just soup, like a foot long or more tomatoes. Like, holy cow. All I need is like 2 of those plants and I will get more tomatoes than planting them elsewhere.
You probably shouldn't have pointed them out to Zoe because...
She won't eat them. She won't eat them. So anyway, look at this. 2, 4, 6, 8. They are looking pretty weathered. They're not happy.
You pinching them in the morning?
I may do it tonight. And you know what? And there's nothing ready for tomorrow's bloom, so that's kind of stinky. And yeah, so I don't know. You know what? It isn't going to change. It is what it is. The firelight's a little sloppy this year too,
Bugs,
but
man.
yeah. But you know what? It's kind of funny. Someone asked me today about this garden, and they liked all the limes and the purples and the pinks. And I'm like, that actually just kind of happened by accident. And like, this was the first year that I started moving stuff around to actually make it into a garden. It was kind of just a holding bed. So it's shaping up. It's shaping up.
Well, let's get a closer look.
Go ahead. Go for it. Everybody knows what's in here, I think.
Probably. I'm sure we've
That's
gone...
a daylily called Open My Eyes. You have to get closer. People want you to get a close-up of the lily.
I know. I'm leaning in. It's hard to get close without getting yelled at, folks.
The blue vervain, the taller purple stuff, you know, it dried out. It's not, I think it's drought tolerant, but it does look a little awful this year. So it is what it is. We have the native purple cone flowers in the back. We have this daylily called Prime Example.
And that's a prime example of how steady of a hand I have.
Yes.
Look at that. If this fly would get, look, there's a fly on my finger and I'm still holding it steady.
You're just like Superman.
Oh, I wish I could flip the camera around, but I can't.
We have really sloppy catmint, but honestly, it fills in this area. So if I cut it back, it's going to look kind of bare, so it's going to stay there. I have a couple seedlings that bloomed, which I liked, and then a stilby. This is Delft Lace, and it starts like you get bright pink at the bottom, and the unbloomed part is like this mauve-y color. So I kind of like that until it all blooms and I cut them back. But so this is kind of fun. That's a Sun King in the back. That's an Aralia Sun King variety, and this is Onyx Peacock with no blooms. Do you remember last year? Actually, the ones in the patio garden. So I have 3 of these. Last year, big, beautiful mop head blooms on black stems. We had like blue, massive bouquets, basically. One was a bouquet. No blooms on any of them this year. I think it's because of the water. Last year, we got tons of water. Last year, we got tons of bloom. This year, nada. But this is not dying, so that's good. That's the jumbo Brunnera. So that one is supposed to get like as big as these hostas, like supposed to be 3 feet wide, like huge leaves. So that's why this is kind of like by itself. I expect that to grow. I don't know how fast it grows. It's new this year, so we'll see. I have another one over here that's doing just as well. Starting to put up some new leaves. So, you know, considering how dry it's been, I think it looks pretty decent.
It looks like dinosaur scales.
Yeah, it is kind of prehistoric looking. And then we have some brilliance Japanese painted ferns back here. Those are autumn brilliance. See the rusty colored ferns? So that's that. The ferns aren't overly happy. And I have a sweet fern next to it. That is a host plant for the hair streaks.
That's a sweet fern right there.
That's a sweet fern.
Doesn't look too sweet.
It does. It's a very good filler plant, and it's a good plant for butterflies, the little mini blue ones. So,
Well, maybe it's because I pulled so many ferns this week that I'm just not thrilled about ferns anymore.
everybody's drooping a little in this garden. My grasses are like standing up this year. Instead of like cascading, And I'm wondering if it's because last year we got all that rain and it kind of kept them down a little all the time, because it rained all the time, like at least 3 times a week. And this year they're dry, so they're like standing really far up. Same with this one. This one is like hiding my ferns. It's like really, I need to divide this. So this is something else I will be doing in the fall. I need to take like that off because I love my ferns right there. I used to have this nice little succession of ferns back there, and now they're sort of only coming here because the grass is growing both ways, which is weird. It needs to cascade this way.
So you recommend to people, if a plant starts getting too big, don't be afraid to cut it out a little bit, right?
Yes, yes, depending what it is and how you do it. Yes, there are proper techniques to dividing for sure. The grasses, they can be divided in the spring, like kind of after last frost or pretty close to after last frost, close to your last frost date. You can slice this with a shovel and take them out and move them around. But I would not suggest doing it while you still have the potential for frost, because if the roots have been disturbed, then the chance of it dying back in a freeze could happen. So
look at that, a gardener's work is never done.
I found weeds. I mean, you'd never see them, but I see them.
Well, hopefully you don't look over at my garden over there, the shed garden.
Oh no, look what I did.
What kind of lily is this again? I know we covered it before,
Alien Starshine. And look at, yeah, that's pretty faded too. Remember how vibrant that was? They're all feeling a little pain today. So this is interesting. Look at the color on this one. So these were all done from seed. This is the color on the back plant, and the front two are the typical native purples. So that's kind of fun. Ruby spider. Wow. The deer ate ruby spiders. Look at the bulb. Look at the buds are chomped in half. What?
How did they get here?
I don't know. Holy cow.
You sprayed about 10 gallons of deer fence the other night.
I can't believe it. I can't, and you know what? Look at this. This is what happens. They ate the flower. They are edible. Ew, I just saliva from the deer. I hope it doesn't have something, because I probably just infected myself. That's not good. So
yeah,
you will not be seeing ruby spiders tomorrow.
Now
Oh
the
my
bucks
God.
are going to start breaking wind. It's going to smell like deer fence.
You know what? I'm going to have to spray tonight, and then everyone's going to be like, ugh.
So if a deer farts and it smells like deer fence, it's going to actually try to run away from itself, isn't it?
Oh, God.
Well, you could be causing a problem here with nature.
No, no.
Yes.
What a jerk. Look at this. What a disaster.
Yeah, but don't you want to save some of them for the tour tomorrow? You're kind of taking away all the
Hey,
color.
Brian, they're one-day flowers, so this one will be dead in the morning.
So the only day it was alive, it got eaten by a deer.
Yeah, how about that for luck?
Well, when did that happen? We've been here all day.
Yeah, you know what? This probably could have happened yesterday. I don't know. I didn't come up here and clean these up yesterday, so obviously I have day-old, 2-day-old blooms. Wow, so we won't see any of these tomorrow.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And they ate the blooms off my Simicifuga.
How did you not notice this during the tour today?
I don't know. I didn't eat the hosta.
Maybe you didn't spray it good enough.
Maybe it likes it. Maybe they've adapted.
They've probably become immune to it at this point.
They have adapted. Well, whatever. It is what it is. Honestly, if you don't know they're there and they're only buds, you don't really tell from a distance anyway. But see those coneflowers? Those are too tall for where they're at. So that's another note. They're nice and short the first year, and then they're bam the second year. And I kind of knew that. Yeah, so let's see. Any other damage? No. They just, oh no, they ate back here.
See, it happens to the best of us.
They like the rubies. I guess I've been talking so much ruby spider that they just had to try it. Not good. Oh well. You know, if they eat your buds, the plant will probably make more plants instead of focusing on bloom. So
Yeah, but now they got a taste of it. Does that lily taste any different than the other ones? Because now they may be like,
I don't know.
that was good.
Yeah, I know.
And-
Maybe I have to spray Lily Lane.
Yeah, they're going to start to get an appetite.
I really won't have any flowers tomorrow.
So yeah, you can show them my garden. I'm surprised you haven't yelled at me for. Did anybody comment on this today?
What did you find? You found a bowl.
As you can see, guys, I've been so busy helping my wife with her garden that I've neglected mine. I have my fine ferns here. They look great. I got a few hostas here. These are my exotic brown hostas.
That's
And
not a hosta, that's a heuchera.
oh yeah, the exotic heucheras.
You're gonna let the tour go on with your garden looking like that?
What? You know what? I completely forgot about it because we have so much property. You know, a lot of people haven't even seen, you know, most of our property because we kind of focus on the flower beds. But I got a fire pit to tend to. I got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you got a lot of weeds too.
Yes. Well, I may wake up tomorrow morning bright and early and go in there and take it out. So, what?
All right.
Unless you have a job for me.
I do not. I have plenty of people to come help tomorrow.
So the yard's looking a little bit better.
So the grass, it doesn't look as terrible if you view it from here because, you know, it's sort of sloping and the other blades of grass kind of make it blend from far away. So as you're walking up the driveway, it looks like grass. If you walk up the walkway, you can see the problem, but that's okay.
Yeah, but I can see it's going to look good.
Yeah.
I mow it a few more times. I think it's going to be looking great.
If we don't get rain, you won't be mowing it at all. We'll be reseeding it.
I can't wait to walk barefoot in the grass.
Yeah. I'm bringing these plants over for water. These are curtain call deep rose fall anemones.
Before you walk over there,
What?
can we look at this? My other garden over here?
The hose and then you can show it.
Well, so this is another garden I've been working on. Or not working on. But it's a work in progress. So eventually I think it would be cool if I had like a shade garden up on this hill. I've been collecting stones from certain places. And yeah.
This
I
is
love
where
building
all the
stone
ferns
walls.
Should go right here.
Ferns?
This is where all the ferns should go. Oh, look, there's some painted ferns over there. Deer don't like the painted ferns. So if you have an area, they don't eat painted ferns ever. I don't ever spray those or these or anything, and they don't eat them. So painted ferns are a good thing. And epimedium. They don't eat epimedium either. At least here they don't.
So eventually we're gonna work on that, and we have been talking about cutting all these pine trees down over here and putting up a barn in the spring, and possibly a greenhouse.
Possibly.
Well,
we are doing both, or we're doing none.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Can't wait for the contributions to pour in. You might have to have a fundraiser.
I know. The cost of the barn was like, okay, maybe double what I expected it to be, but still.
It's going to look great. It's an antique barn, and you know, it'll fit perfectly on the property. So sometimes
especially with a greenhouse behind it.
And yeah.
And I may have to sell plants. You guys might have to buy some daylilies and seed crosses so I can fund my barn, but
she's trying to convince me that she's going to have a lily farm up here and she's going to make a fortune.
I don't want a lily farm. I want a greenhouse to grow, like, first of all, vegetables, to like grow my own vegetables, my own cut flowers. I wouldn't mind selling some of those. I don't want a lily farm. I've seen lily farms, and I've seen what you need to do and how many you need to plant. I don't want to do that. I'm going to make specialty crosses that I want to see, but I'm not doing a lily farm. I'm not.
I think it's Guiding Green Thumbs Perennial Seed Packs. Boom.
Well, anyway, let's get the thing up and running first.
Well, yeah, well, hey, you know, that's my retirement, honey. You're going to have to take care of me. Right? And what's going to happen to my fire pit?
Oh, we're definitely having a fire pit. We'll put it over here.
Yeah, I can't live without a fire pit.
No. We need it in the winter. We actually use the fire pit the most in the winter, believe it or not.
Can we go stand over by the sprinkler a little bit?
Yep, why?
Because I just want to kind of feel a little bit of the mist.
What?
It's probably cooler over there.
Well,
So-
Zoe found a way to get cool. Look at her legs.
Yes,
He's a
in
mudhound.
the swamp.
She's a mudhound.
I'm thinking about lighting a fire tonight. There's my fire pit, folks. It's where I
don't
spend
have
a
to
lot of
light
my
a fire.
time. I still love the fire at night, regardless of how warm it is. All right, honey, so what chores do we have left before this big garden tour tomorrow?
I'm not doing much. I'm pretty spent. I'm about as faded as those flowers over there, so yeah, I'm not doing much tonight. I will probably go to bed early and I will get up early because I love the morning here. The morning is like top notch.
I know, you walk around the flower beds in the morning and you just hear her. It's like, oh my God. The neighbors must think we're crazy and kinky up here.
I think so. I'm not that. No, because I know not to wake my kids either. I love their sleeping and I love my kids, but I love when they're sleeping and the sun is like shining through the trees. And I hope that at 10 o'clock when the tour starts that it still feels morning-ish because it's such a different feeling than after a day of like hot and heavy humidity. So.
And I'm gonna
Zoe.
be at this garden tour also.
Oh, who's here? Who's here?
You forcing me?
Look at
Hey, she's messing with Jax now. Let him off the porch.
She's trying to get him off the porch. He won't go.
Hey, if you can't fight with the big dogs, get off the porch. Is that the saying? Or
No,
bark with
if
the
you
dogs?
can't run with the big dogs. Stay on the porch.
Yeah, well, it's not fair. Unless we start giving Jack
Oh,
steroids.
man, she's gonna wreck something up there.
Yes.
So anyway, but listen, everything is as good as it's gonna be. We got 4 inches of rain last week. Last week? When was that?
A couple days ago, maybe?
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, no, actually we got 4 inches of rain and then all of a sudden it was freaking 95, 90, 92, 90, and high humidity every day. So we got like a nice soaking, which I'm appreciative of. But then it's like miserable every day and everything is just like evaporating into thin air. So there are a few things in need, like my seeds of water, my dahlias. Everything else, you know, this is a newly planted garden. So I'm watering this section, but the sun garden, it's on its own. It's fending for itself. It usually doesn't need to be watered all that much, so I'm not worried about that. So the vegetable garden, my dahlia garden, or anything new, if we get high heat like this, they definitely try to water. But
Well-
we're done fertilizing for the year. Done, you know. I'm winding down. It's the end of July. We're winding down now. Like now we've hit the peak, and now we're gonna start to come down. So it's sad. I don't want it to happen. I love my flowers and my bugs. I like the fall, but I definitely do not like cutting back and knowing that we're sliding into that dark doldrum of winter. Hate it.
I don't mind it so much. It gets cooler. It does bite that fall is so fast, but
I know.
the workload does kind of get a little lighter. So you can look at it that way.
Sprinklers are kind of a waste of water.
Yeah, especially when...
It's good because you don't have to be there doing it, but if you're out there with a hose, you definitely can soak it better than wasting all of this excess.
It wouldn't be a waste of water if you had a white t-shirt on and you started running through it.
Yeah, right.
What do you think?
I think you better go to bed and you can dream about it because the only water that's gonna hit me is in the shower, and
Great.
then I'm hitting the pillow.
Nothing worse
Not in a
than
white t-shirt.
nothing worse than reliving the scene from 10 and then the alarm clock goes off. Great, can't wait. Well, honey, I hate to brag, but this place has never looked so good, and neither of you.
Oh, wow. Did you practice that?
Beauty beyond belief.
Wow.
Believe me.
Did you practice that?
No.
No? Wow.
I'm just hoping
That's
that,
so nice.
you know, everything I did this weekend gets remembered later.
Yeah, I believe you. I absolutely believe you.
You know.
Yes. Hard work gets reward.
Well, you know, I should be on the payroll.
Yeah.
Dropped a P and an L, folks. Let's go. All right, that's it. That's the
Yes.
update. We probably will have some footage.
Yes, we should have some, we're going to try. I mean, I don't really know how this is going to work. It's the first one that we've ever had. So stay tuned. We'll try to do our best to kind of, you know, give you some footage of what's happening and some feedback maybe. I don't know. But all right.
All right, honey.
We're going to survive the heat and the tour. And then we're going on vacation.
I hear it's going to get hot later.
I don't know what app you're looking at.
We better move that sprinkler.
Yeah.
All right, honey. Thanks. Better start earning your keep, Cleo. You're a watchdog, not a couch potato. Even though you look like one. Jax, where were you when the deer were eating the lilies last night? Huh? It's unexcusable. Stupid pugs. You're lazy. Ground feeders. I guess you were too busy looking down to look up. Too busy eating deer crap to scare the crap out of the deer. Never seen a sprinkler used like that. I probably shouldn't.
Skills.
I probably shouldn't get wise, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, whoa now! I got an expensive camera here.
I honestly didn't even think about doing that until you gave
I
me
know,
the
I'm a dumb idiot. I just set myself up for that. Actually, it felt pretty good. You're dumb. Hey, lady. Oh, there you go. Oh, that feels great. Hey, looking mighty fine. Oh, gosh. Oh, all right, that was a little much. Come on. Yeah, never do cat calls to a woman who has a garden hose, guys. Not good.